I have learned that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Henry David Thoreau. Do you notice what we talk about every day about success, about staying with things, about imagining what it is you want and continuing to strive for it through thick and thin? Do you notice that all the great men we quote over and over again tell you that is the secret of their success, is sticking with it, having a dream and being bound and determined beyond anything anyone else tells you that you're going to achieve it. That is what success looks like also in investing and trading. What we do every day, 10 to 15 minutes is all we ask. That's all we ask. 10 to 15 minutes. Sticking with it, learning how to do one thing, and that is follow trends. We're not prognosticating. We're not coming up with what is going to happen in the world and projecting it into the future. All we're doing is following trends and learning to recognize, particularly with those weekly vertical crossovers and the 2-day recrosses, when a trend is establishing or reestablishing and allowing you to jump in and ride it. We don't try to find the very beginning of something. We wait until it's literally established and moving, and then we jump in. We're not trying to be day traders and find market inefficiencies and make a penny here or a penny there. We are practice trading to learn how to invest and trade in the long game. That's what we're all about. We're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. We're not giving you advice on how to invest and how to trade. We want you to get educated. Buy the book, read it. Stay with us every day. Take the trainings that we have. Great training today. The first part of the trainings that we have, especially for you on options. Are you interested in knowing what options are about? Well, if you're a subscriber, you will see in the link in your show notes, Part 1, Options Made Simple, how options work. There's 2 more parts. The most important is the third and final part. If you're not a subscriber, go to chartingwealth.com for free. Sign up. Put in your email address and your name. We'll send you these trainings each and every day. It's the best way for you to start your year. If you've been with us and you've fallen off the wagon, get back on the wagon. Recommit yourself. Great time of year to do it. Be aware, market is open the entire time as far as stocks go on the 31st, the last day of the year. We will have a shorter bond market. It'll close at 2. And then, of course, markets are closed on New Year's Day, open up again as usual afterwards. Let's jump into the charts. We see stocks and bonds are down for the day. Gold continuing to move up a little bit, 0.21%. Let's jump into the S&P 500 first. We can see for the first day of the week, we have a red open box. What does that mean? It's not a red down candle. In fact, we haven't seen a red down candle on the S&P 500 weekly. We have to go all the way back to literally the first week in October. Since then, we have had either green up candles or red open box candles, which again is akin to a green open box candle. Just means a bit of a slowing in the trend. That can very easily, throughout the course of the week, turn into a green candle. But what's really important is that price percent oscillator. It's gone flat. That's something to just watch and pay attention to. Remember, our main indicator, price percent oscillator, it is flat. Derivative oscillators lost energy for the first time, since, I guess, all the way back that second week in October. Or third week in October, I guess. So again, first time that we've seen the derivative oscillator lose some energy. So we'll watch, pay attention. It's the first day of a 4-day candle. Remember, shortened trading week this week. So we'll watch, see what there is to see, what we can learn from it. What's going on the 2-day? It's headed down. Hasn't crossed over going down yet, but doesn't have too far to move. What do we see going on with this latest candle? First day of the latest candle, we see it's a red spinning top. Open box, not a red down candle. The last red down candle we saw all the way back to early December. So first day of the latest candle. It can change over the next day, but right now we have a red spinning top, means indecision. It's not a solid candle, but some indecision there. Sitting right there on the 2-day trend line above the weekly. So we'll watch, see what there is to see. What can you expect when you look at the 4-hour, down in the morning, down in the afternoon, really peaked with the down movement in the morning, down 0.54%, crossed over going down in the morning on the price percent oscillator, had been below it and bounced off. So we'll continue to watch, but significant weakening as the week starts on the S&P. What about the Qs? Down even more. It was the most down for the day, 0.66%. Red open box candle. It has a wick on top. Again, price is right there at the 2-day trend line, just sitting of the candle, just sitting above the weekly. Again, price percent oscillator is heading up, not quite flat. Derivative oscillators lost some energy. First day of the latest weekly candle. Now, again, it's 4 days this week, so it's just a quarter drawn at this point, subject to lots of change. We see the derivative oscillator losing momentum on the first day of the latest 2-day candle. Again, it's a red open box spinning top like the S&P 500. Derivative oscillator losing momentum. Price percent oscillator heading down. Not down as quickly as the S&P, but still down. Look at the 4-hour chart. Same kind of thing down in the morning. Peaked with its down move in the morning and continuing in the afternoon, but the peak was in the morning, pushed through the 2-day trend line. Again, prices still above the 2-day and the weekly on that 4-hour chart. So some weakening as the week starts off on stocks. We'll wait and see. That's subject to change. Just the first day of what will be a 4-day candle. Now we go to bonds. Bonds down for the day, 0.36%. We look at that weekly chart. Bonds have been going down now, going on 5, starting the 5th week. Derivative oscillator still losing downward momentum. Price percent oscillator heading down. Candle heading down. Has the candle reached a low lower than back on the week ending the 20th of December? Yes, let's see. We're going to look. The price 135.66, 135.76. So yes, we have reached a lower low. Well, that's good to see. And again, like we said, down 0.36%. We go to the first day of the latest 2-day chart. It's a down candle after 2 prior green candles. Price percent oscillator is tracking down at this point. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum. Price is above that 2-day trend line. So keep an eye, see what there is to see there. Big down in the morning, bit of a recovery in the afternoon. Price percent oscillator still positive on the 4-hour chart, as is the derivative oscillator. So we'll just watch, see what there is to see, what there is to learn. Where are we now as we look at bonds? Don't forget the 2 days in a confirmed down move, as is the weekly. And again, that 4-hour hasn't crossed over, so you might pay attention to that if bonds continue to weaken. You have a crossover going down since the 2-day and the weekly are already in confirmed down moves. You might think about jumping into a down move on bonds if indeed that happens. Hasn't presented that opportunity yet. Might be a good practice trade for you. Lastly, we go to gold. Gold up for the day, 0.21%. Gold still confirmed down, hasn't crossed over. Will that happen this week? It might. If it does, we're going to be ready for it with the weekly vertical crossover and the potential weekend effect coming in to help us. But hasn't happened yet. We shall wait and see. The derivative oscillator's already gone over to positive, so maybe that's a portent of a crossover. We'll let you know as we get toward the end of the week. If you haven't subscribed to, for free, our text messaging service, you text the word charting wealth, one word, to the number 33222 on your cell phone, and guess what? When there are weekly vertical crossovers, we tell you. So hope you will consider doing that. We go to the 2-day chart, and we can see that the 2-day, has the 2-day reached a higher high? 141.7, let's see, 142.80 versus 142.73. Yes, so gold is reaching a higher high on that 2-day chart. That's nice to see. Price movements well above that 2-day trend line. Derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. Green candle. Not as strong yet, but it's only the first day of the latest 2-day candle, not as strong as the prior candle. And we see on that 4-hour chart, does look like it's slowing down. It really slung up there to begin with. And over the last 3 days, it started slowing down, but continuing to hit higher highs. We can see that slowdown as depicted in the derivative oscillator losing momentum, moving down. And we can see the price percent oscillator is about flat. So we'll wait, see what there is to see, what there is to learn from all of this. Folks, that's where we are as we end the day on this first day of a shortened trading week. Like we said, bond market will close early on the 31st. Stock market will be open till 4. Of course, everybody will be off on New Year's Day. We appreciate you being with us. If you hadn't ordered our book, gift yourself. Oh, and by the way, you can get a discount if you buy a year's worth of the Trader's Journal. Remember, that includes daily market worksheet, weekly market worksheet, and trades worksheets. You get 3 of those for one flat price. Saves you a great deal of money. I'm sorry, you get 4 of those. They're 3 months apiece, so they basically are good for a quarter, each quarter in the year. They end when we put out, of course, our quarterly review that is coming out for all of our Patreon members when the year closes. I will be recording that on New Year's Eve for you. And we'll look at where our quarterly chart is on the S&P. We do that 4 times a year. That's coming soon. If you aren't a Patreon member, want to know more about it, follow the link in the show notes. All sorts of great things, including the quarterly training that we do, the short chart training, the Bitcoin training, and of course our monthly question and answer live call-in training that we do with all of our Patreon members. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.